It's week 4 in MLS, and that means week 4 for Bet MLS. Welcome back to the show. I am Daniel Robertson at Daniel_Rob27 on Twitter. And that right there is the Oso Ben Bear. Ben, pretty good week overall in week 3.
We both did pretty well. I think that's a good, we have some momentum coming into week 4. Obviously, the first 2 weeks you were dragging me down a little bit, but it's good for you that, you actually did well last week. And we're going to push this forward into another busy week 4 here coming up this weekend.
Yes, week 3, very optimistic going in. I thought our bets were really good, and it turned out to be a really good week, plus 4.5 units overall. I felt personally like the way that I looked at the games, they all kind of played out how I thought they would. Maybe a little bit of the unpredictability that we talked about early in the first couple weeks of the season is, subsiding just a little bit. The like fading CCL a little bit was a pretty good idea. And I mean, I definitely felt good. We both hit our best bets. For me, I said on the show last week, if Nashville didn't come through, they were done for a month, and I am holding to it. Nashville cost me my Chelis 24-1. I had every other game. All Nashville had to do, I don't even care if they did the over 1.5 team total. All they had to do was win, and I would have been up because I'm playing the Chelis a quarter unit. I would have been up like 8 units overall. But Ben,
right, but that's MLS. You knew as soon as the Higuain's, condolences to the family, but you knew as soon as they were out, this game was going to be a draw or Miami was going to win, because that's MLS. This is why we see opportunities here. You didn't see the opportunity, and you went with Nashville, the easy pick. You can't go with the easy picks in MLS. That's why we have this show.
They let me down, but hey, Ben, great call at FC Dallas. I mean, they were far and away, they were gone by halftime.
That was probably the easiest call all season.
I mean, easy money. They were playing kids, and Savarese made 4 subs at halftime.
Yeah.
Rev's team total, that one got over the line as well. I got the NYCFC dog. I'll take that. I think that was a pretty good call. Fading Philadelphia plus 225 on that one. I'll take that. And then, hey, Rui Diaz. We got a little bit of hate on Twitter for the first goal scorer call, but he who laughs last, huh?
Sometimes you just feel things and they're true. They're going to happen. And No one can argue with what happened in the game.
Was the pick correct? Yes.
Yes. That's the only thing that matters. Is it right? Yes.
Exactly. So pretty good week overall. We got some momentum. And this week there is quite a few really good games on the slate. It's not officially.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like a rivalry week, but not, MLS isn't branding it as rivalry week. Who knows what a rivalry week really is, But
that's what I was going to say. Like. That's what I was going to say is there's no Heineken rivalry week. So let's call it at Bet MLS. We'll give them $10 if they want to promote us and call it at Bet MLS rivalry week.
I'll call some people.
Yes. A few people. Call a few people. So controversy abounds in this first pick. Ben, let's get into your and I'll give you some credit here, man. Going plus 175, your money line favorite of the week. Those of us watching on YouTube know who you picked already. Let's get into it.
Look, is this an easy pick to say out loud? No, but look, we're gonna, this show is about fun. I'm up like, what am I up like? 4
You got some money in the bank. You got some money in the bank.
I got money in the bank.
7.85.
We're going to play some fun games here. It's a very fun week, as we said. Portland is a home dog. Look, they're playing Seattle. Seattle's been the best team in MLS. Cool, great, grand, wonderful. That doesn't mean they're going to win this game. Portland is going to, they have 3 full days after CCL to rest, get their guys ready. Look, they'll fly back, but it's not like a Wednesday, Saturday. It's Wednesday, Sunday. So they have 3 full days.
Noon kickoff.
Get their guys ready to go. It's okay. Whatever. It all counts. It's extra sleep. It doesn't matter. I know people who've told me 3 days matters more than 2. Okay. Big difference between 2 and 3 days. I know people. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
3 days. They're plus 175 at home. Look, another thing. They've lost their last 2 home games against the Sounders, if I'm looking at everything right. They're not going to lose 3 in a row at home against the Sounders. That's not going to happen.
Solid analysis.
Diego Chara. Yeah, this is what we're looking at. Diego Chara, I'm not going to let this happen. I just can't look at Portland home dog and not pick them. Look, Aboba's back. They're getting a little bit healthier. They're going to have, they're going to win tonight. We're recording this Wednesday. They're going to win tonight. Everyone knows that. Then they carry that momentum into Sunday and beat the Sounders. Done.
Everyone knows they're going to beat Club America. Exactly. Exactly. Well,
everyone goes into Azteca and wins. Come on.
I don't, for the life of me, know how you can pick Portland in this game. This seems, and you criticized me a little bit for going square with the national pick. I think obviously this is a square pick. This is definitely a square pick.
This is the opposite of a square pick. The square pick
No, for me,
the best team in the league.
I'm transitioning.
Okay.
I'm transitioning into my money line favorite of the week, and it is a square pick. I love the Sounders. There is nothing to not love about Seattle going into this game. This is a team. I mean, Seattle's a front running team. When they get hot, they get really hot. When Rui Diaz gets hot, he gets really hot. They bring Ladero off the bench. Like, they are so deep. They've got so many options right now. They're rested, and they're facing a team that is coming back from Mexico City that is going to get the S kicked out of them for the 90 minutes tonight. Whether they win or lose, they're going to leave a chunk on the field in Azteca. Like, obviously, I think, you probably won't be betting Portland if Diego Valeri gets injured, if they come away, if Diego Chara is injured, you may, and I'll allow you.
Look, you may want to wait till lineups come out.
Yes,
yeah.
You may want to, and I will give you
lineup, but
one time only, because I want you to make money. I will give you the opportunity to change your pick on Twitter if you want to, pending what happens on.
I'm not going to change it. I don't care who they throw out there. They're going to win this game.
Seattle is scoring goals for fun right now. They're no stranger to going to Portland.
Against who? Against the Galaxy? That doesn't count.
Well, they got 3, but that's basically a home game.
That doesn't count. Against the Galaxy.
Look,
that's not a real defense.
It's basically a home game for Seattle. They only have to go a few hours down the road. They've been at home. They've barely been out of the Pacific
basically a home
Northwest.
game for Seattle. Stop that.
Look, they know that field better than
Timbers have fans
anyone.
there now.
They know that field better than anyone.
Okay, you got your points out.
Yes.
This is head to head. Let's move on.
We'll see what happens. Okay. Give me the Sounders, my former employer, for a short time on.
Just throwing that in there. Wow.
On Sunday night or Sunday lunchtime kickoff in.
How's your other former employer doing?
Well, okay, come on. That's
which one?
I was gonna say at first I thought FC Dallas, but now I'm thinking, no, all right, that's a low blow, but we'll move on. Okay, let's go to the dog of the week. I got it last week, and I'm actually going back to the well on a team I've picked in the past for my dog of the week, and this is DC United plus 450 going to the Columbus Crew. Now, again, I'm fading CCL. It worked for me last week. I think the Crew are going to have a really tough game this weekend tonight in Monterrey. And for me, this is all about the dogs on the slate. There's a lot of picks that are kind of like, I don't love. And so I'm going to put a half unit on DC at plus 450 versus another dog at around plus 200 right now. Same payout, right? DC wasn't as bad as the scoreline indicated against San Jose last weekend. I think
they were pretty bad. Look, I saw that expected goals. That's game states, though.
They weren't as bad. I watched most of the game. They weren't as bad. Cade Cowell's on fire right now. We'll get into that in a little bit. But plus 450, I like that number. Columbus really struggling in MLS right now. I mean, look, you don't worry about them at all. In a month from now, they're going to be fine. But you know what? At 4.5 to 1, again, it goes back to the New England one where when they played New England and they were 5 to 1 dogs, the game was very, very close. One kick either way could have decided it. I'm going to put a half unit on DC. Okay.
Well, look, I think what the difference is between last week and this week in terms of CCL is, look, that was in between the 2 CCL games. There is no CCL game after. I think there's next Wednesday is a big Wednesday, but it's 2 MLS games. So it's not the same. It's not 1-to-1. That's why you're not going to see my picks kind of align with what we saw last week.
And
so I'm going with
taking a CCL.
I'm going with Philadelphia plus 210. Look, they've gotten off to a really rocky start in MLS. Of course, they had their CCL run. They're in the semifinals. Semifinals aren't happening until the summer. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Look, they're not going to continue this rocky start. They know they need to go into Chicago, get this win. We've seen what we've seen from Chicago, and it's been bad.
Not good.
Very bad. They're one of the 5 worst teams in MLS, probably. So I think, look, they have a lot of rest. There's not, that's not really an issue. They played on Tuesday. Again, 3 days rest. We talked about 3 days rest. So a lot of rest.
I agree with that one. And they were at home. They're not in Mexico.
And they were at home. You're not going to get Philadelphia going against Chicago plus 210 very often. I don't think these days. So again, if this wasn't a CCO after CCO week, this would be closer to even for both teams.
Yeah.
Or even flip. So you're getting plus 210. I think Philadelphia goes into Chicago and gets a win.
Yeah, I think that one's going to be all about the first goal. If Philadelphia scores first, I think they will have no problems locking down Chicago.
Yeah, they'll just take it in and then they'll transition forward, and then it'll be 3-4 nothing.
Yeah. Now Chicago needs this win really bad. That's the only thing. But you can't. I mean, you can't bet.
Has that mattered recently?
Right. It doesn't matter. So yeah, love that pick. Really big fan of that one. Now I said Nashville for me, done for a month. I'm not touching a game with Nashville. I might fade them, not betting anything that accounts for Nashville scoring a single goal. But for your total of the week, you do like something involving Nashville.
Yeah. So I've had every single one of these so far for the record.
3-0.
That out there. Every single one, 3-0. So we're going Nashville, New England over. It's only over 2.5. It's minus 115.
Pretty good.
Look, most of these are minus 150 and higher, lower. I don't know, whatever.
Yep.
Worse odds than that when it's 2.5 in MLS games. You're getting minus 115 for Nashville team through the first two games was by far the highest XG. What we saw against Miami was a team who didn't want to play soccer. So they sat all the way back. Nashville couldn't break them down. Correct? Is that what we saw?
They parked the bus, baby. Like
they
you
parked
said,
the bus. Did they not park the bus? Okay. Is New England going to do that? I don't think so.
Not.
I think what we saw from Carlos Eo last week was special stuff. He's not going to come out and just want to park the bus again. He's going to build off that and continue to score goals and get assists and all that good stuff. You know, Gustavo Bo and Buxa, not off to the great start, but they did have almost 3 expected goals last week. Most of that, you know, there was a PK and Carlos Hill just being special. They're going to come out, they're going to want to play. Both these teams are going to play in this one. We're going to see a 2-1 result. I don't care either way. It's going to be over 2.5.
Love that bet. Tajon Buchanan back too. I mean, that's another big piece for them, underrated.
Yep.
So my total of the weekend, this is actually one I really love. I mean, it's going to be San Jose RSL, first game on Friday night. Both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. It's coming in at minus 115. The total is set at 3. So I like this one. I don't really see a 3-0 win for either team, which is the only scenario there where you could bet one and it goes, whereas both teams to score and over 2.5 wouldn't hit. This is a scenario that has hit in every single one of the first 5 matches for both these teams combined. They've both given up the goals. They've both scored a lot of goals. San Jose right now.
Knowing it's MLS.
Right. So it's a square pick, right? But I'll fall into the trap again. I told you Vancouver was a trap last week, and I'll fall into the trap.
No, look, I mean, I think Vancouver last week was a bad pick. I can because I don't know. Vines and Acosta. Vines being back pushes Acosta back to the midfield.
Hey,
Colorado becomes the team they were last year.
It wasn't on this show. It wasn't on this show, so you don't have to answer for it. But yeah, as I said, both teams to score over 2.5 goals. This is hit in each of the first 5 matches for both teams. San Jose 7 goals in their last 2 games. I mean, anyone who's watched them knows they're scoring goals right now for fun. Cade Cal try and keep him off the score sheet this weekend. Probably not going to happen. Is RSL going to get shut out at home? Probably not. Rubio Rubin, his rebirth, Damir Kreilach. They've got a lot of pieces. I really like this one to be 2-1, 3-1 either way.
I like how 2 weeks ago on the show I said they were the worst team in MLS, and now we're saying they have a lot of pieces.
A lot can change.
I'm just you're not picking them to win or anything, but look, am I a believer? No.
I think this one's got 2-2. I think this one's got 2-2 written all
I'm just
over.
not a believer I'm not a believer in RSL being a top team in MLS. I'm just going to throw that out there. That's not going to sustain itself over the course of the season. We've seen these types of runs before from these types of quality of teams. That's all I'm going to say.
All I'm looking for is entertainment on Friday night. So
we get into my goal scorer now?
Yes, and this one raised my eyebrow a little bit.
I actually, I think I got this one. I got it right last week. Obviously, we all know that. But Minnesota, they've been bad.
Bad.
Is that going to, again, you have to look at the trends. They have quality. They look like they were very bad last week against Austin, who, again, we don't discuss in this. I don't discuss in the show because I do some work for them. But I think they are so desperate for anything that they're going to go to Colorado and they're going to score at least 1 goal. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
And the guy who's going to score that goal is going to be Bebelo Reynoso. We saw him hit the post last week. I think he's a special. He's been really good, honestly. He got injured last week a little bit. It's just a knock. He'll be fine. He'll play in this one. He's going to go in and score. It could be a PK, so that's crucial with these.
Yep.
Or it could be just a regular goal against Colorado. I don't really think. Look, they shut out Vancouver last week. It's not really that tough to do. It's plus 400. I think that's good.
The PK taker at plus 400, like anytime, that's not a bad bet. You need one stupid foul in the box is all you're hoping for at 4-1 odds.
And Colorado almost gave away a PK last week. That was a terrible call by my guy Baldo, but they almost did it.
Who's in goal for Colorado these days?
Is it Yarbrough?
Yarbrough. I was like, is it Zach McMath? Is he still there?
No, he is still there, but he's no, he's in RSL. Never mind.
Yeah, I was
after we keep track of where Zach McMath is in any given moment. He's been 20 teams.
Very difficult to keep track of. Okay, cool. So Emmanuel Reynoso plus.
What do you got?
And that's all about the odds, by the way. Plus 4-1 for him.
Yes, that's more of what I'm going with here.
Right, and that's kind of hitting a dip, right? That's buying the dip on Emmanuel Reynoso. I'm going with Lucas Cavallini to score for Vancouver. You're smiling over there.
I looked at this.
Plus 200, pretty nice.
I saw plus 150, so I don't know.
Plus 200 on DraftKings. It's plus 150 Bovada, plus 200. I said this especially on players to score, shop around, because those numbers you can talk about by a number of multiplier of 1 to 2. It could be even higher. Now, if you saw the Vancouver against Toronto FC, they were playing with, Cavallini was raising all sorts of hell in the box. They were sending crosses into him right and left. And I know Montreal was down a man against Nashville, but one of the things they were allowing was a lot of crosses into the box, a lot of service into the center forward. And I think Montreal, this is the opposite of buying a dip a little bit. They have not played anyone yet. They are getting teams at their worst possible moments. Columbus in the middle of CCL, Toronto and CCL. Now they're traveling on the road, their farthest, road trip of the season so far. I like Vancouver to score a couple of goals in this one. I was looking at the over. The over is actually placed at 3 goals, which for a team that's been 0-0 last week, Vegas is thinking there's going to be some goals in this one. And if Vancouver scores goals, I like them to come from Cavallini at plus 200. That is my goal scorer of the week.
All right. Well, Vancouver didn't come through for me last week. I've been kind of riding them a little bit this season because I think their odds are a little bit off. They seem a little sketchy to me in general, just all of the Vancouver odds. But let's get into the funnest part of the week. It's the Chelis.
So close, man. We have hit.
Zero almost got it. I got it. I got one at 15-1. Let's just point that out.
Well, but so Nashville screwed you too, didn't they, on the Chelis?
Yeah, I'm not. After they didn't win, I forgot what I put. I think I had Vancouver in there too.
Okay.
So look, the last week I kind of wussed out and I did like a 5-1 job. That's not going to be true this week. This year, this week we're going 60-1.
Ooh,
60.
I love it.
Look, we talked.
Sorry, go ahead.
We talked about there's a lot of fun games this week. Let's involve at least one of them here. El Trafico. We'd be remiss not to mention it. It's not going to get any marketing behind it this week from the league.
None.
So don't worry about that. None. Okay.
Under the radar.
Look, we want to see goals in this game. Are there going to be goals? I don't know. We'll see. But it's over 3.5 is at plus 115. Let's go ahead and grab that. RSL San Jose. We talked about that game. It's plus 275 for a draw. 2-2. Red Bulls going back to the well. They're going to get a win against Toronto. Look, they have a lot of CCL issues, but they actually have injuries coming off of that, with players coming off early last night, and other injuries that are players coming back to health. Players like Josie. I'm going with the Red Bulls.
New players aren't there yet, right? The new Toronto players.
Salcedo's not going to. Salcedo, Pozuelo is not going to be ready for this one. A lot of issues in Toronto. Armit's going to come back to RBA, and he's going to lose. That's plus 110. DC, we talked about. I have a win and draw plus 135. Vancouver, we talked about win and draw is minus 185. All that together, 60-1.
Love it, man. You love it. And we've got a couple of overlaps, which I like again, because we had a lot of overlaps last week. And I believe the ones we overlapped on, except for Nashville, all hit. So great minds on that one. I love, I did the opposite this week. I went a little lower. I didn't go 6-1. I try to keep it at 10-1 or higher, but this one comes in at plus 960. So almost 10-1 there. Honestly, I really love this. So I've got Sounders winner draw against Portland. I'm not taking the money line for this one. Just win or draw. I think the Sounders can get some sort of result. I've got Miami on a winner draw coming back home against Atlanta. Banged up Atlanta team. Give me Miami in that one. Whitecaps winner draw. Talked a little bit about that one. Montreal, I don't think they go all the way to Salt Lake City and get a win.
So that's an overlap right there.
That's an overlap. FC Dallas, Houston. We haven't talked about the Texas Derby at all, which I'm sorry, as a FC Dallas fan, I should be talking.
We know that's
about
because Dallas Houston's always a draw. So if I would have bet a draw.
I hope
always
not.
A draw. It's
I
always
like
1-1 or 0-0.
No, Dallas has won the last 3 in Frisco, actually. But yeah, so I'm taking FC Dallas money line.
It feels that way, okay?
It does a little bit. But I'm going to take FC Dallas money line plus 110, and then I've got DC United plus 1 key on that one against Columbus. They're my dog of the week. I'm going to give, if you're giving me DC United, by the way, plus 1 goal is basically even money right now. You're giving me a goal, so you're telling me Columbus needs to score twice. I don't know about that coming off of the tough game. So again, Sounders winner draw, Miami winner draw, Whitecaps winner draw, FC Dallas money line, DC United plus 1. And that one, if DC United loses by 1, I'm still alive, right? I'm not going to get quite as good odds, but they don't cut out the parlay for it. And that comes in at almost 10-1. So yeah. So there's our Chelis of the week.
You only went 10-1 this week for the record, and I went 60-1.
Well, okay, opposite of last week. You know, we all see what we like. I almost went 6 teams, but I stuck with the 5 because I can't remember. There was one I was looking at that I was like, this is gonna screw me. So yeah, cool. Well, we've got all of our bets locked in. So let's recap those really quick before we wrap up. So your money line favorite of the week, Portland. My money line favorite of the week is Seattle. We're battling on that one. Your dog of the week, Philadelphia going to Chicago. Love that one. I'm taking DC United plus 450 in Columbus. Your total of the week, goals between Nashville and New England over 2.5. I am taking RSL San Jose, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at minus 115. Your goal scorer of the week, Reynoso from Minnesota. And I have got Cavallini for Vancouver. Reynoso plus 400, Cavallini plus 200. And your Chelis coming in at 60-1. If this is a live,
by the way, right. I feel like this. I just want to make sure that there's a chance I screwed this up, but I'm pretty sure it's 60.
No, you should. I mean, because you've got a plus 275. You got a lot of plus money in here. You got a lot of plus money in here, which I absolutely respect. So yeah, LA versus LAFC over 3.5 goals. RSL San Jose draw. Red Bull to win. DC United winner draw, and then Vancouver winner draw. And if that Vancouver is alive in the last game, we're going to be partying on Twitter if we've got the 60-1 still alive. And then I have got Sounders winner draw, Miami winner draw, Whitecaps winner draw, FC Dallas money line, and DC United plus 1 goal coming in just under 10-1. So that is going to do it for week 4. Let's keep it going. Keep the positive weeks going. Keep Ben on his big run. Hopefully I can get back to plus money for the year after this week. And we will see you next time. Enjoy the pseudo rivalry week, and we'll talk to you next time on Bet MLS.